Welcome back to my video tutorial on layer masks. This is a little bit complicated, but try to stay with me and we'll see if we can't work through that. A layer mask is nothing more than a way to add or delete parts of the image, or add to or delete from parts of the image. Here we have an image with the background layer only. It's a JPEG. It's a shot that I took that the flash misfired, and it's really not a very good shot. First thing I'm going to do is copy my background layer and work off of that, so I still have my original background layer intact and I'm not working on my original, so to speak. The next thing I want to do is I want to create a better color sky, so I'm going to go down here and grab my curves, and I'm going to take some red, put some red into it, and some blue, put some blue into it. And as you can see, I have a nice purplish sky, but I've also affected the rest of the image. When I went to the curves layer, it created this layer mask. And what this is kind of like a window into the image with the window shade pulled up. So anything you do on this layer, you can see the effect. Now, if I do a Control-I and invert that and make that a black mask, basically what I've done is pulled the window shade down, and all these changes that I did are now hidden underneath that layer mask. If I want to see those changes, I would grab a paintbrush, a white paintbrush, oops, and I always go in with a low opacity, and I would kind of paint back in the parts of the image that I want to be affected only, and not the entire image. So here you can see that that's the image without the adjustment. That's the image with the adjustment, but the rest of the image isn't affected. I've used a layer mask basically, pull down the window shade, so to speak, and then I've just painted away with a white paintbrush from the black so that you can only see through the window for this part of the image. I'll do some more. I want to lighten up the sand a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and name this sky. I'm going to grab another curve layer, and I want to lighten up the sand a little bit, so I'm going to just kind of do that. Not very pretty. I'm doing it kind of fast. Again, the window's open, so you can see the entire effect on the layer mask. And if I do a Control-I to invert that layer mask, I've hidden it. And again, I can just take my white paintbrush, let me make it a little bit softer, and just kind of paint back in. And make the sand a little bit lighter. Now I'm not staying within the lines, so to speak, but I'm just trying to give you guys an idea of what I'm doing. I can also kind of lighten up the water a little bit. And there we go. Just gives you an idea. Now, the effect is still hidden under the black. I've let you see part of it, and I can still play with it. I can make it lighter. I can make it darker, but only in the spot where I've painted the white onto the black, so you could see through the window, so to speak, and make the adjustment to the layer, but only to the part that I want you to see. So I'll rename that sand. Now her face and her eyes and her hair are a little bit dark, so I'll do another curve layer and I'll lighten it up a little bit, and I'll come back in with my white brush and I'll just kind of paint over her with white just to brighten her up a little bit. Then if I zoom in, I can do some more on her hair to lighten up part of her hair. As you can see, I'm only letting into the image what I want you to see, and the rest of it's covered by the black layer mask. That's basically what layer masks do. Now, here's the image completed. And as you can see, I've used a lot of different hue and saturations, levels, and curves to make changes. There's that purple sky I did in the example, You can see I've lightened her up. I've changed her lips. I've changed her hair. I've added some makeup to her. I've lightened her skin. All kinds of things. But everything's on a layer mask. Everything is hidden except for the parts I painted that you wanted to see through. And coincidentally, if you go back to the background image, that's the original, that's the completed. But if I turn off the background image in my background copy, the screen is basically blank. I didn't paint with any colors. I didn't do any kind of dodge and burn to damage the pixels. I didn't change anything on the image. All I did was paint with light through the layer masks to change the image to be the way I wanted it to be, with no damage at all to the picture itself or to the pixels themselves. The only thing you see on the screen right now is where I did my sharpening at the end. And I did very, very limited sharpening. That's all you see. So that's a quick rundown of layer masks. I'll be updating tutorials frequently, so just feel free to keep checking back.